Hello out there, everyone. Today we're going to take a quick look at this wonderful Blu-ray release of Purple Rain, a piece of the zeitgeist from the 1980s. And it's funny, this is a movie that I had actually never seen until I recently picked this up at Barnes & Noble for $5. And I'm really ashamed I hadn't, because it's quite good. It's very entertaining. The music is great. I had forgotten that Morris Day was in this film as well, and he provides a nice counterweight to Prince's uber seriousness in the movie. I mean, Morris Day, every time the camera's on him, it just lightens the mood, and he's just such an interesting character, almost Pee Wee Herman-esque in his demeanor, which, like I said, is a really good counterbalance to Prince's sort of just overly pensive and way too serious characterization of the character Kid, which has been essentially Prince. And of course, it's semi-autobiographical. The band that he is in is called The Revolution, and it is his band. But, you know, having said all that, despite, or perhaps because of, all of Prince's idiosyncrasies, I find that the movie does a great job at showing you just how gifted Prince was as a musician, as an artist. He was such an odd man. I mean, I like to say he was basically his own mammal, his own species. I just can't think of another person that's quite like Prince. And, you know, the world was better because of it. I think that his contributions to music and art are, you know, undeniable. And he was a remarkably talented musician. Many people don't realize that he played every instrument, and after the Revolution broke up and he spun off and did his solo thing, he recorded all of his music, played all of his instruments, and then I believe hired session musicians to tour with him. You know, just a remarkably talented guy. And Lordy, his voice is incredible. When you really sit and listen to his vocal range, it's pretty remarkable, as was his guitar playing as well. I think that he was largely overlooked in the discussion of, you know, who amongst his contemporaries was the best guitar player out there, and I think that Prince was absolutely up there in the top. So the movie itself, obviously it's a little cheesy, very dated, just a perfect time capsule of what 1980s you know, male toxic masculinity and just zero, almost negative impulse control amongst people from that era, especially those who were in that sector and, you know, clubbing and so forth. I thought it did a great job at capturing that. And I would like to also point out that the cinematographer on this film, I believe he lensed Michael Mann's wonderful film Thief. And, you know, of course, I believe he had done a lot of music videos, including Prince's music videos, but I think he just does a damn good job lensing this film. It looks much better than it has a right to. I think in many ways it's just one long MTV video during an era when MTV music videos rather were interesting and could be rather entertaining. Those days are long gone, obviously. I mean, there are certain individuals, artists and so forth, that are still making music videos, but the days of, you know, sitting around the television on a Friday night and watching music videos on MTV are just, they seem like eons ago. But it was a genuinely fun time, and for a few years there, it was absolutely just a wonderful way to spend a few hours without needing lots of money. You just sat around and with friends and watched music videos and just had a nice time. So this movie really does exactly that as well. And I would just, again, like to stress that Morris Day really lightens the proceedings in a way that needed to be lightened, because the movie is in some ways rather sad. I do think that Prince was a rather tortured soul who had a lot of demons that he was dealing with, and of course he, you know, was able to exercise them through his art and his music, but I don't think he had a particularly easy life. And of course, when they found him dead and had sadly OD'd on, I believe, opioids, I think I read somewhere that they weighed him and he was like 105 pounds on his deathbed, and was only 5'2". So, I mean, there was really nothing left of him, and apparently his liver was just overloaded with all of that fentanyl that he'd been putting into his body. So, a rather sad way to go for a man that I think is truly one of our greats in terms of musicians, artists. I don't like all of his music, but I like a lot of it. So on that note, I would just say, if you've never seen Purple Rain, do yourself a favor and watch it. And this Blu-ray release in particular is has a great audio and video transfer and some wonderful supplemental features, including a nice documentary on the club that's featured prominently in the film called First Avenue in downtown Minneapolis, where Prince did get his start. There's also some fun stuff in there with MTV, when they had the MTV premiere party for the film, as well as all of the music videos for various songs that are in the film. So definitely a very worthy addition to my collection, and one that I have no doubt I will be revisiting often. So on that note, please take care out there, everyone. Stay safe, be kind, and by all means, keep watching good cinema.